I need your help me please subscribe my channel. When Lisa and I first got married, I honestly believed nothing could shake us. We'd survived job losses, cramped apartments, and those late-night arguments that somehow always ended with laughter. But somewhere along the way, that laughter faded. Silence took its place. And eventually, that silence turned into something colder, contempt. It began subtly. A sarcastic jab when I forgot to take out the trash. An eye roll when I suggested watching a movie together. Before long, it wasn't just about small things anymore. It was about everything. Every choice I made somehow became evidence that I was the problem. You don't listen. You never care about my feelings. You're selfish. At first, I tried to fix it. I listened harder. I planned surprises. I even agreed to therapy. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. Every fight ended with the same line. Maybe we should just get a divorce. She said it so often it stopped feeling like a threat and started sounding like a countdown. Then one night, everything came to a breaking point. We were arguing again, this time because I'd missed her call during a meeting. She stood in the kitchen, arms folded, eyes wet but voice hard. I can't do this anymore, Mark. You make me miserable. Maybe we should just end it. Something inside me gave way, not in an angry explosion, but in a quiet snap you barely hear, until the silence after it feels heavy. I looked at her and said simply, "Okay." She blinked, stunned. "What?" "Okay," I repeated, "if that's what you want." For the first time in ages, I felt calm. No shouting, no defending myself, just done. I went upstairs, packed a small bag, some shirts, a toothbrush, the basics, and walked past her toward the door. "Mark, wait," she said, her voice breaking. "You're not actually leaving." I paused. "You've been threatening to end this for months," I said quietly. "I'm just giving you what you keep asking for." And with that, I left. No slammed doors, no dramatic exit. Just a man who finally stopped trying to save something the other person had already let go of. The first few days after I left were eerily quiet. I checked into a cheap motel on the edge of town. Not much more than a bed and a ceiling fan. But for the first time in a long while, the silence didn't scare me. It felt like relief. No more shouting through walls. No more walking on eggshells, waiting for the next outburst. Just stillness. I'd sit on that stiff motel bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering when love had turned into survival. Somewhere along the way, I stopped being her partner and became her target, the person she blamed whenever life disappointed her. And I'd let it happen because I believed that marriage meant patience, compromise, forgiveness. But patience without respect isn't love. It's slow self-destruction. A few days later, Lisa started texting. "Are you okay?" Then, "You really left." And finally, "When are you coming home?" I didn't reply, not out of anger, but because I genuinely didn't know what to say. For the first time in years, I was thinking about what I wanted, not just what would keep the peace. By the end of the week, she showed up at my motel. Her makeup was smudged, her eyes red from crying. "Mark," she said softly, standing in the doorway, "can we talk?" I let her in. She sat on the edge of the bed, gripping her phone like it was the only thing keeping her steady. "I didn't think you'd actually go," she whispered. "You've always stayed, no matter what I said." "That's exactly why I had to leave," I replied. She looked up, confusion flickering in her expression. "So that's it? You're just done?" I sighed. "Lisa, I've been trying to fix this for years. Every time I reach out, you push me away. Every time I try to talk, you turn it into a fight. You've been threatening divorce for months, and I think part of you meant it." Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't mean it, Mark. I wanted you to fight for me." I shook my head slowly. "You wanted me to fight you, not for you. There's a difference." We sat there in silence for a long time, the weight of all our unspoken words thick in the air. I wasn't angry anymore, just tired, deeply, peacefully tired. When she finally left that night, she didn't bring up divorce again. Maybe she realized words lose their power once the person they're aimed at stops fearing them. 2 weeks later, I moved into a small apartment closer to work. Life became simple again. Quiet mornings, long drives, evenings without arguments. I was learning how to breathe without bracing for the next blow. Then, one night, a text from Lisa lit up my phone. It wasn't angry or bitter. Just one line. I think I made a mistake. I stared at it for a moment before replying. Which one? A few minutes passed before another message came through. A photo of our old living room. My chair was gone, my books scattered across the floor, and beside them sat an envelope with my name on it. Her next message read, I found something I shouldn't have, from your brother. My stomach tightened. My brother Adam, and I hadn't spoken much in years. Not since he tried to warn me about Lisa's temper before the wedding. I had no idea what she'd found, or why it mattered now. Curiosity got the better of me, and I drove over. When she opened the door, she looked smaller somehow. Her confidence cracked. She handed me the envelope without a word. Inside was an old letter from Adam, written years ago when Lisa and I had briefly broken up. It wasn't romantic, but it was brutally honest. He'd told her to stay away from me, that I deserved someone who wouldn't tear me down piece by piece. Her voice trembled as she spoke. He hated me. All this time, I thought you were the problem, that you didn't care enough. But you were just tired. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. I could see the realization settle in, the understanding that her threats, her control, her bitterness had cost her everything that truly mattered. I don't know if we can fix this, I said quietly, but I hope you learn from it. When I left, she didn't call after me, and for the first time in years, I didn't look back. Sometimes, walking away isn't the end. It's finally the beginning of peace.